Yo, yo, yo. Here we go, game 8.
At home, the Rockets don't hold anything back, whether it comes to their close or their effort on the floor.
For some reason, the Spurs played the Rockets three times out of their first 8 games. So we're playing the Rockets again, third time. Game 8 of the regular season.
And for a look at how the competition stacks up right now, here's the latest edition of the Power Rankings. They tell a great story. You take a look at the Raptors. They're gaining on some of the teams above them, trying hard to crack into that top 5.
And right now, the Spurs, they've been sinking on
go.
this list to start out the year. Not what they or really anyone else expected, but that's why you play the game.
And the starting group for the Spurs. Up in the front court, it'll
Play
be Vassell
to
and
win
Barnes.
the game.
Fox is out there with Chris
As
Paul.
someone once said.
And it's Wembanyama in at the 5 down low. And for Houston, running the wings, they'll go with Green and Brooks. Alperen Şengün out there with Thompson. And it's Van Vliet in at the 1. Greg, what's the key thing Fred Van Vliet brings to this offense?
I feel like he's really a centering presence. The guys can look
Gotta
to him
stay
to
in
call
front of
the
Fox.
play, to give them their orders, and trust that he's setting them up for success.
Here's Green after the basket by De'Aaron Fox. Thompson, a screen on Paul. Pass to Green, back to Van Vliet. Houston moving it around. Shot clock at 6. And it's Green missing. Fox kicks to Vassell. From outside, off the mark. Houston's gone.
You gotta make that, Devin.
In the first quarter. Yep,
What
that
you
one
get
goes
paid
in
to
there.
do, my
Excellent
friend.
job by Green finishing through that contact.
Last game for the Rockets, they picked up the win against New York. It's Vassell on the wing. It's tipped and stolen by Şengün. To the paint, here's Thompson. Good D by Barnes.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Wembanyama gets the bucket.
The prayer.
He runs so well for his size. Wembanyama knows how to finish on the break.
Rockets have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Şengün with the screen for
Nice
Thompson.
pick. God damn it.
San Antonio with the rebound. Last time
Thanks
they
for
met
the
was
help,
in
Wemby.
San Antonio.
And that one was all about offensive execution, running your plays, picking your spots.
Yeah, you know, not deviating from the game plan is critical. You've got to trust in the system.
Such a pure stroke for his size. Wembanyama looks like he was made in 2K.
Pass to Şengün. And Clark, in this early phase of the season, are new teammates still, getting used to each other?
Yeah, I would think that's the case in most situations, Kevin, and that's the flip side of having a long regular season. Physically, it's challenging, no doubt about it. But over the long haul, you do have an opportunity
Way
to
to
come
move without the
together
ball, Wemby.
and gel as a group.
Nice cut.
Wembanyama is a specimen going at the rim there with a purpose.
And timeout is called by Ime Udoka.
Ime.
He wants a minute here to get
My
things
boy.
straightened out with his team. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame
Wish we had
reporter, David
Ime
Aldridge.
coaching the
What's the latest,
Spurs.
David?
I was able to
Sorry,
talk
Mitch,
with Ime
but-
Udoka for a minute. He had a list of concerns coming in
Ime
tonight,
would have been
not
nice.
the least of which was matching up with De'Aaron Fox. He said it's not just the speed, though that obviously is an issue. It's that Fox has also become so good at dictating tempo and getting you to play his style. That's something they can't allow. Kevin?
All right, thank you, David. Now here's Van Vliet. Pass to Thompson. Back to Şengün. And stolen by Wembanyama. Here's Barnes.
Come on, Barnes.
Good D by Thompson.
And not allowing the shooter
make
even
that,
an
man.
inch of breathing room on that one.
And, guys, that's
Freaking
exactly
layup.
the kind of high-impact defense they want to see out of him.
Now here's Green. And he just worked New York in that last game.
He has to make that one. I mean, you have to make the defense pay when they slough off of you like that.
The kick out to Fox. Pass to Vassell. No good from outside. Rockets trail by 4.
good.
And Clark, the Rockets, just one of a handful of franchises to win back-to-back NBA titles.
Can you believe that, Kevin? It was roughly 30 years ago that the Rockets did that, led by Hakeem Olajuwon, perhaps the best player in the league at that time. Of course, this was while Michael Jordan was retired from the NBA the first time.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Houston with a big group substitution here. Jock Landale's checked in for Şengün.
Bring in the
Jabari
bench
Smith
there,
comes
by the way.
in for Thompson. Tari Eason's checked in for Dylan Brooks. And it's Whitmore in for Fred VanVleet.
Slow.
The Spurs also changing it up. Jeremy
shot there on the free
Sohan's
throw.
checked in for Barnes. Johnson comes in for Devin Vassell. And Castle is subbed in for Fox.
This is what I love about Whitmore, his fearless attitude and that ability to draw foul.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. Scoring breakdown for San Antonio.
Their chemistry. That's what really stood out so far in
we
this
get
one to
Castle
me.
going
Look at
again.
the
He had a
number of
hell of a
assists they've
game
been able
last
to rack
time.
up so far.
And on top of that, they've been asserting themselves
put him at
offensively,
point.
getting
All
a
right.
good chunk of their points from inside.
Spurs making a switch here. Champagne's checked in.
They say the
On
vertical
cue.
is where Castle lacks a bit. Show me where it lacked there.
Rockets trail by 7.
Who says that? That one guy who voted against him being
Outside
Rookie of the
Green.
Year.
It's stolen by Wembanyama. Here's Castle. Boy, was he something else against the Clippers.
Knew it.
And
3
there's the
seconds.
whistle. 3-second violation.
Damn it, Sohan.
Şengün's checked in for the Rockets. Aaron Holiday comes in for Jalen Green. The Spurs making a switch here.
All right, so we got Fox at point, Castle at the
Houston's
2.
gone just 1 of 4 from three-point range here in the first.
Take it.
Pass to Şengün. Here's Whitmore. Holiday looking over the floor. Goes up at the stripe. And it falls over the rim and in.
Got to get on him,
Old
Mamu.
school shot from Whitmore. There is still some value in that mid-range.
Here's Castle. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now.
Well, you know what? You don't want to do too much to get an opponent riled up. You got to be mindful of that.
Pass to Smith. Over Sohan. Nice
Damn it,
shot by
Sohan.
Smith.
Well, he could have earned some style points there, but he really doesn't need to use the fadeaway when he's that wide open.
And so
Sohan
the
got
first quarter is in the books. Spurs lead by 5. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And taking a look at San Antonio's performance here. What do you think they've been doing or not doing?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Yeah, and it's worked. They've got a clear edge and points in the paint. Now we'll see if they go with a more balanced attack
Can't
or
stop
just keep
the
on
inside
pounding it
game.
inside.
The post pair form, it'll be Smith
Gonna
and
keep
Şengün.
driving it to the hoop.
Shepard out there with Whitmore. And it's Eason in at the 3 spot. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets. Shepard with the ball. Guarded by Fox. And some nice passing there by Houston. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And it's Whitmore missing.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Yeah, another column in the stat sheet that hasn't gone in their favor. To climb back, they've
Probably
got to
not
put
the
forth
greatest
more effort.
shot.
Smith the pass to Şengün. Pass to Whitmore. Fires the 3. And he's good on the 3-ball. Whitmore's got 6.
Not the biggest fan of that shot, but he had the space to get it off, so why not?
Johnson kicks to Fox. Sohan with the screen. Here's Castle. It drops for his 3rd basket. He's missed only one shot.
There you go, Rook.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And, you know, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside.
I'll timeout, Ime.
And timeout is called by Ime Udoka. He wants to talk to his guys. So for the Rockets, Thompson is checked in for Smith. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Shepard. Barnes is checked in
got
for
old
San
man Chris
Antonio.
Paul back in.
Paul comes in for Johnson. Pass to Eason.
I swear my auto substitutions make no sense.
And we're a little over a minute and a half into the second quarter of action.
They're not going according to my minutes
Rebound,
that I'm allocating
San Antonio.
in the settings.
They come into this having outplayed the Clippers last game.
And sometimes it's a lot harder to get easy looks on the road. But they
You're just
found
gonna leave the
ways
lane like
to
wide
get their
open.
guys good looks.
And it was funny, the road arena didn't bother them at all. I mean, they locked in, focused, and executed, and got it done.
My fault.
VanVleet wide open. Off target with his three.
We know how good a shooter he is. It's frustrating for him when he's not able to knock down that kind of wide open look.
Paul passes to Fox. Pass to Sohan. Back to Fox. Hits it from three-point range. And it's an 11-point Spurs lead.
And that quick shot by Fox is something you know he has worked on religiously. Nice finish.
For three, VanVleet counted his second make in 4 attempts. With the rise of positionless basketball,
Good
Clark,
timeout,
this has
Pop.
to be the most difficult era to be a center.
I would not disagree with that, quite honestly. I mean, they're asking
Get
for a
Wemby
lot.
in this game.
They're not elite rim runners as centers and
Wemby?
shot
No
blockers.
Wemby? All
They
right.
got to be able to shoot and shoot from the perimeter, not just in the low post. And they still have to be able to finish around the basket. I think the biggest thing is they have to cover more ground defensively because how the game is played offensively
Wait.
with a lot of movement and pick and roll.
Rockets trail by 10.
Got a quick first step.
And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. Jalen Green has shown he's capable of carrying a team offensively. He said, "It feels good knowing that my teammates believe in me to do that. I've had to learn a lot of things to grow, but that's what I work for. I want to be one of those guys that you give the ball to in crunch time." Kevin, I always want to give the mic to you in crunch time. Back to you.
David, you are an unselfish playmaker, and I appreciate that. By the way, Green can be electric
Come
and
on,
so
HB.
fun to watch. Hey, DA, thanks.
That's what you're supposed
Now
to do.
Thompson. Harrison Barnes missing on the three. Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. Outside, Fox. Good, and it's Barnes picking up the assist. Fox has got the lead up to 12 now for the Spurs. And here's Green. He'll
Where's
bring it up for the
Wemby?
Houston Rockets. They'll take on the Thunder
Wemby
at
not gonna
Paycom
play
Center
then
after this
this
one.
half.
And that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for him. Another miss by Houston.
Definitely a situation you want to make sure you don't give him too good of a look.
Back from outside. Thompson with the rebound. Rockets have gone just 2 of 8 shooting here in the second quarter. Rebounded by the Spurs.
Not really the best decision. I mean, get the easy two, the for sure two. No need to make it fancy and special.
And that one is good. Castle's got 4 points this quarter.
A bigger guard, 6'6" Castle can just overwhelm defenders. Impressive for his age.
Green passes to VanVleet. Green with a screen on Paul.
He got on those screens.
And it's Brooks in the corner. Thompson, a screen on Fox. Here's Green.
Nice
Another miss
D,
by
boys.
Houston.
Nice D.
Puts one up from 19. He's off on that one.
Well, you know he wants that one back. I mean, more often than not, he'll sink that mid-range jumper.
And so it's San Antonio, sitting with a comfortable lead, up by 14. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint,
take it to the
and now
hole.
they are scoring with ease. And a chance
Take
now
it
to
to
send
the
it over to
hole.
David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much. Pop, what changed in
gotta
the
hear
second
from
quarter
Pop.
defensively?
Well, I think we limited the offensive boards a little bit. I think we took better shots. I don't think they got the same fast breaks. And honestly, they missed some pretty wide open shots.
Pop, thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back
Generic
after halftime
Pop.
for the start of the third quarter.
Boom.
They're getting steamrolled, giving up too many points in the paint.
And it's just not the rim protection. You have to stay in front of all.
And shifting our focus.
Ooh.
And that'll do it for halftime. We send you back to Kevin Hart.
Here we go.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. It's been one outstanding game from De'Aaron Fox.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
And you know what? They've come at him a few different ways defensively, and nothing has slowed him down.
On the court for San Antonio. Up in the front court, it'll be Vassell and Barnes.
Oh, Wemby's been doing nothing because he's been on the bench.
And it's Wembanyama in at center.
Dylan Brooks never afraid to flex on defense in these tough finish situations. He's a very physical player. I love it.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
It's trailed by 14. Green taking his time here. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Greg, you know this. Getting that second contract is a major goal for young players in the NBA, like Devin Vassell.
And Devin did, signing a huge 5-year extension in 23. He ended up having his finest year after inking that deal. Vassell has a very bright future.
And we got a timeout called from Ime Udoka. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alteration.
What up, y'all? What up, y'all watching on Twitch? I see you.
A moment to check out the numbers for Fred VanVleet. He's coming off an excellent season, and he ended up in the top 15 in steals as well. Some of the quickest hands in the league.
And his floor awareness was impeccable last season. As you mentioned, top 10 in assists. Just does a great job of getting everyone involved. Now here's VanVleet. He's got 6.
Fleet. Oh, that's a charge.
That'll be his second foul of the game. And over the last few years, Clark, we have seen an explosion of talent from Canada.
Tell you what, you go back to the mid-2000s.
Mean looking cheerleader. Right, look at she got a mean mug.
That's certainly part of it.
Yeah.
I really think
Smile.
a generation of players
What's going on here?
picked up the game, seeing guys like Steve Nash, and then the influx of great Canadian collegiate players going on to NBA success will certainly continue to keep that pipeline going.
Give it to Wemby. See Wemby bring it up.
Spurs leading by 17.
Out of my way, I'm Wemby.
Wembanyama down low. Şengün's there.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
And for Houston, they're shooting 32% overall right now. Not one of their better showings. Here's VanVleet. Gets it to go from 8 feet.
Can't stay in front of him with Chris Paul.
VanVleet, for his size, is pretty tricky.
Pass to Wembanyama. Outside, Fox. Back to Wembanyama. Over Şengün. 2 points. That one goes. Wembanyama's got 7 points for the quarter.
Everything working for him out of the half as they've hit 4 of their first 5 shots.
Hey, yo, right here. To the inside. And Şengün gets it to go on the assist from VanVleet.
Şengün, a force in the lane. That's where he does most of his damage.
Out left to the wing. Şengün against Wembanyama. Over Şengün. Great defense that time from Şengün. Brooks with it. And it's Vassell picking him up. Brooks with a screen on Paul.
2 minutes.
In front of him, Paul.
Van Vliet up top. Defended by Paul.
There you go.
A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. No good with the triple. The drive by Wembanyama. Out of bounds.
What is he
Houston
doing?
takes possession.
Come on.
And a chance now to look at the schedule for Houston.
Let Van Fleet
On
just
Friday,
kill you
they'll
like
tip it
that?
off.
Just
Road
D
trip
you up?
beginning in Oklahoma City, where they'll take on the Thunder. And
you're
then on
8
Sunday,
feet.
they continue the road trip, heading out to Detroit. They'll take on the Pistons.
And you know for that matchup with Washington, it's the second game of a back-to-back, and you know they're going to be feeling the effects of it. Playing that much basketball in that short amount of time really takes a toll.
Now, here's Fox. Following the miss by Van
Nice.
Fox really interested in making his teammates better, and he does it with his passing.
Nice pass, Fox.
In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock.
Get Paul out of there. He's tired.
Outside, Green. Thompson outside. Hits the three-point
I got to work
bomb.
around those screens.
Thompson's got his first 3 points of the game.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes
Exactly.
that an
That's
easy
what I
shot.
just said,
Well, I'm going
dude.
to credit the screen. I mean, that's a good, strong pick he lays there.
Now here's Paul. Wembanyama left side.
Come get it. Come get it.
Over Şengün. The shot by Wembanyama.
Doesn't have
no
it.
good.
They don't have the turnaround. Tim Duncan
Thompson
off the
finds
glass
Van
with a
Vliet.
dirt fadeaway.
32 seconds left in the third quarter. Clark famously,
best you can
Fred
do,
Van
Chris Paul.
Vliet was undrafted. Why do you think he was overlooked?
Paul out of
Wow,
there.
I tell you, I think size, but man, when you look at his intangibles, it's hard to not be impressed with what Fred Van Vliet has done. He is an incredible basketball player, smart,
Thank you. Paul's out.
tough, skilled,
All right, we got Castle at
relentless.
point.
He's had a great career as an undrafted player.
Penny,
Catching up on the changes for Houston.
Sohan,
Jock
Keldon,
Landale
and
comes
Wemby.
in for Şengün. And it's Jabari Smith in for Amen Thompson. Johnson with it. Now Green defending. Johnson surveying the floor. Over Green. San Antonio needs to get off a shot here. Castle misses. Van Vliet with it. There's the three. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's the San Antonio Spurs sitting with a comfortable lead
Might have
up
to
by
up the
14.
difficulty.
Their
I'm too
defense
good.
has been active and let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open
Man.
with his feed. They
That
had
wasn't
no
a great
chance
assist.
to prevent that basket.
Fox's
Yeah, that's just a
last
brilliant
pass was
read of the
better than
defense.
that.
I mean, it was also excellent anticipation of the movement of his
See,
teammates.
I can dig this
before the
lineup with
pass.
Fox
Just
at
great
point and
harmony
Castle at the
on all
2.
sides.
I like that.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. The post pair form, it'll be Smith and Şengün. Then it's Cam Whitmore. Then it's Tari Eason.
You're gonna
And
leave
it's Holiday
Keldon
in at the
just
point.
wide
So
in the
that's who's on
corner?
the floor for the Rockets.
Pretty sure he like
Now Whitmore.
prefers the corner shot.
And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. To the middle. And stolen by Şengün. Fast break. Here they come.
That's that.
The 10-footer.
Not in my house.
Here's Whitmore. Good work there as it goes.
And Whitmore a beast inside because of his power and ability.
Here, set a pick, Mamu. Thanks.
There's a screen. And there's the drive. They grab their own miss. Pass to Castle.
Set another pick, Mamu. Thanks.
Fox looking it over. And it's Fox with the jam.
Appreciate it.
Man, he's got it going now. When he's in this kind of a zone, boy, he's fun to watch.
And we've got a timeout called from Ime Udoka. And clearly an important juncture. He's
Time to
gonna
just
have
wave
some
the flag, you know.
with his team. Fred Van
With the
Vliet is
bench
checked
in,
in for
it's
the
over.
Rockets. And San Antonio also making a switch. Paul's checked in. Rockets
Why?
trail by 17.
Well, Paul's expendable.
About a minute and a half into the
Fox,
fourth quarter
you
now.
gotta take Fox out.
Smith sets the pick for Van Vliet. Knocks it loose. And it's out of bounds. They say it was
Nice.
last touched by Van Vliet.
Nice
Houston
swat,
making some
Sohan.
changes. Amen Thompson, he's checked in for Jabari Smith. Brooks comes in for Tari Eason. And Jalen Green
straight
subbed
up the
in for
middle.
Whitmore. Fox goes in. In it goes for the 8th time in 10 tries.
Guys, I tell you what, feels like everything
for
is
10.
coming easy to him. Just taking what he sees and capitalizing.
What you got, Van Fleet?
Van Vliet against Paul.
What you got? You got Thompson.
Şengün with a screen on Johnson. Thompson. And Thompson throws it down.
Tenacious on the attack. Thompson is fantastic at finding lanes to the basket.
San Antonio leading by 17. Johnson in the corner. Back to
Might be
Paul.
someone at my front door. I don't know.
Fox against Green. That's good from Fox on the assist by Paul. Paul's got 4 assists in the game.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Got no
Just reliable.
cameras
guys.
aren't
He's just
giving me a
always
notification.
Trying to make the right play.
Nobody there.
Pass to Castle. Back to Fox. Johnson kicks to Fox. Another miss by Fox.
You
And
mean
so
another
Van Vliet
miss?
will bring
It's
it
like
up for
8 for
Houston.
10, or he was.
They
Just
trail by 16. Green, the pass to Van Vliet. Green with a screen on Paul. Van Vliet can't get it to go. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Pass to Castle.
Bad
And
pass.
they're on the break. Green with the ball. Now guarded by Fox. And
Good
it's
defense,
Green
Fox.
missing. Spurs leading by 16. Here's Castle. Good D by
dunk it,
Johnson.
man.
Rockets have gone
You were
3
in
of
the
8
dunk
here in the fourth quarter.
competition. Dunk it.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Spurs.
Look at their number of assists.
You know, they didn't get stuck in those one-on-one situations, and they got the ball to the guys with the best matchups. Easy drives, open jumpers, and great ball movement.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
And this will be their third
right,
win
put
in
the
3
bench
tries
in.
against these guys.
The deep
They
bench.
match up so well.
They really do. I mean, there's one more game to play in this season series, and barring any major changes
Pop's
to
gonna
their
put
team,
Wemby in.
I have to believe the sweep will be in order.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions
did.
tonight, it was a really phenomenal
understand.
all-around game for De'Aaron Fox.
Well, I thought he was their catalyst tonight, guys. Moving the rock, actively looking to set other guys up. Outstanding work.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Victor Wembanyama is checked in for Jeremy Sohan. Barnes comes in for Keldon Johnson. And it's Vassell in for Castle.
Paul is truly the prototypical point guard. He's got a high IQ, takes care of the ball, and he prioritizes setting up his teammates.
He hits the second from the line. There's 53 seconds left in the game. Now here's Van Vliet. Thompson, high post.
Why are the starters in?
And 2
I
free
don't
throws
understand.
coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the
Coaching
contact.
strategy is
And with
awful.
his movement skills,
Sorry, Pop,
Thompson
but
routinely catches
is Mitch
defenders
coaching right now?
out of
Because why are
position.
the starters in?
And he makes the first. Houston with a big
pulling him?
substitution here. Smith checked in for
Nope.
Şengün.
He didn't pull
Tari
him.
Eason comes in for Brooks. Cam Whitmore, he's checked in for Green. And
Okay.
Aaron Holiday's subbed in
Look,
for
Chris
Fred
Paul's
Van
gas.
Vliet.
He needs
The athletic
Gatorade.
ability of Amen Thompson is easily seen. The way he runs, he's fluid, and how physical he can get. Boy, that combination is
Star
potent.
Fox.
Left side Fox. And it's Fox with the jam.
And I had
They came
to.
in determined to take this
Gonna
one. It's
leave him
going to
that
be a
wide
happy
open?
flight home.
Yep, to have a stress-free win on the road, very satisfying. The fans are already headed for the exits.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Eason gets a wide open look. Off target from outside. Here's Vassell.
Nope.
At 3 off the mark.
Big goose egg for Vassell.
And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed? They were never rattled at all by the opposing fans.
And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin
post-game
Harlan
interview?
Thanks for watching. But as we go, let's take a look at our player of the game, De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, he killed it. It was all inside. We had 1 3-pointer. Yeah, not bad. Castle, decent. Chris Paul, 4 assists. Pretty good. Everyone else had a stinky game. All right, what's next? I think I play the Trailblazers. Yep. Hit up those T-Blazers next time. Thanks for tuning in. Game 9 coming soon. Make sure to follow. Trying to hit that 100 goal on Twitch. Trying to hit that 500 goal on YouTube. So subscribe and follow depending on where you're at. Thanks for watching. I'm LG. Peace.